Alright, so I got me some corn planter boxes. These are the little boxes I need for the corn planter to make it work for 30-inch rows. The only bad thing about these is they cost me a lot of money. A lot more than usual. I found some on eBay. They wanted $99 a piece for them, but they didn't have lids. And I found these ones with lids, and it cost me a lot more than $100 a piece because they came with this. What am I gonna do with this? I don't need 2 corn planters. I mean, it's got these extra options on it. These like brand new fertilizer boxes. I don't need this. Probably just send it to the scrapyard. Cause I mean, I got one. I don't need 2. I mean, the insecticide boxes spin freely. It's got like brand new shoes on it. I mean, look. Still got the factory wear pieces on it. But I don't need it. I already got one. So I'll probably just send this to the scrapyard. I just need them 2 boxes. I don't need all this other stuff. So yeah, we'll just do that. I'll just put it back on the truck and send it to the scrapyard. Okay, so I'm not really going to send it to the scrapyard. I'm not that dumb. No, I got on Craigslist and Facebook and was looking at corn planters to see if I could find something maybe to use for parts, or to see if I could even find the little boxes like that. And I couldn't find the little boxes. I found some on eBay, but they wanted $100 a piece for them because they're flower pots and they didn't have lids. I'm like, I'm not spending $200 on boxes without lids when I can probably just buy a corn planter for that much. And no, I didn't pay $200 for this. I paid a lot more than that for it, just because it's in such nice shape. I didn't pay like stupid amount for it, I don't think, but I had to give $590 for it, which that's higher than I normally pay for it. But if you think about it, if I was to buy fertilizer boxes, the guy I bought this from was selling them for $150 a piece, and there you get $300, $200, there's $500, and then I'd still be short lids for those if I bought them off eBay. But I get a nice corn planter. Like I said, the shoes are like brand new. I don't know if they've been replaced. At some point they could have been replaced. They're a little bit different than the style I have, but even the fertilizer shoes, I mean, maybe the backs wore down, but they're all kind of about the same. They are a little worn. The front's not though, but the sides are wore down. But these are like brand new. And that and fertilizer boxes are in tip-top shape, so I figured it was worth the money and I brought it home. Plus it conveniently fit on the bed of my truck. Which I wasn't planning on buying it, so I didn't take a trailer, and then after looking at it in person I decided it was worth it. It does have the little trash fingers, and this is the only one that has the spring and the little connector piece on it, so I'll take those pieces off my corn planter and put on here. And I only have the boxes for the back, which I think are the insecticide. They're either insecticide or fungicide, I don't remember, but it only had the back boxes, so I'm going to take the other boxes off my planter and put on here, so that way it's more of a complete planter. Mine will be, well, my older one will be used for parts or as a sweet corn planter. The only thing I don't like about this planter is somebody repainted it an off John Deere color, or off green, not even John Deere green, just an off green color, and they painted over all the stuff that was supposed to be yellow, like the back wheels and the brackets for the fertilizer openers there. So it don't look as nice. I mean, the only thing that is John Deere green are these boxes. It's the only thing that's John Deere green. So I don't know, maybe somebody added them boxes to it, but hard telling. Hard telling. The guy did say that he bought it from a farmer that had 2 of these, so I'm just wondering if that farmer used one and then just kind of had one as a spare. I don't know. This one's definitely been used because these S-tines or these spring tines are wore down quite a bit. So I mean, it has been used and everything, but it was well taken care of. And I noticed they've had stuff welded to these. I can see that's welded to that. I don't know what that's all about, but I got a corn planter. We're going with the old nostalgia era planter. Won't probably be getting a 7,000 or nothing fancy like that now that I got this. This is just a nice little planter. So anyways, I will get it unfolded, and I got to get the other one kind of put back together and out of the barn, and we'll get this one in the barn and go through it and grease it and check it all out. I figure while I wait, I might as well fire this up and let it warm up, and then I'll get you guys a time lapse of unfolding the corn planter and getting it back into its normal work mode. I figured out how to do time lapses now, so I can do an actual real time lapse instead of just a video sped up. But see if this thing will start with the key. Negative. I'm gonna have to look. I'm probably gonna have to run either a new wire to the key or a new power wire to the key, or do something different. I don't think it's getting enough signal from the key to start. So let me find my jumper wire. There it is, and get this started and let it run while I get that corn planter into a usable mode. This thing should fire right up. Voila! All right, on to something else. Alright, there you have it. In real time, that took 5-7 minutes-ish, I guess. I'm not going to put the boxes on because I'm going to put it in the barn, and I got to go through and grease everything and all that, but that's how quick it is to put it in a... Well, it's quicker to take it out of storage mode than it is to put it in storage mode, because you got a bunch of little pins you got to pull out of here for each one of those and take all the boxes off and everything. It did rub the boxes a little bit, but these I'll probably give everything, well, I'll probably give the boxes a coat of paint to keep them from rusting anymore. I don't know what the heck went on here. like chains might have rubbed or something. But there you go. We'll get everything cleared out of the way. I'll hook it up to the tractor and get it over towards the barn and get the other one picked up and pulled out and get this one in there. Alright, so I got this one moved back out to the 36-inch row. Oh, excuse me. And like I said, this corn planter is going to donate a few parts. The cylinder is going to come off. The cylinder is universal to either one, so I can use the cylinder for this one, use it for the other one, which I plan on doing. And other things that are going to come off, I'm going to take these 4 boxes off, and they'll stay off. I won't need them for this planter, because if I use this planter, it'll be for sweet corn, and that'll be it. Other things it's going to donate are the springs and these connectors for these fingers. Those are going to come off, and I haven't decided yet. This one has the tread pattern in the wheels, and I don't know if that'll make a big difference for closing the row. But I know it would make a difference if I was driving the boxes. I'm not driving these boxes. If anything, the boxes will be on the other planter. If I hook them up, it'll just be to run them so they stay free. I'll oil them up, and that way they just stay working. I'll probably never use them, but at least they won't ever be locked up. So I may switch the wheels out. I may not. Probably leaning towards the will not part. But those are the for sure things this corn planter is going to donate. I'll probably just even leave the box on this one, but this one will still be a working corn planter. I'm going to keep these boxes for it. I believe, since these have the extensions on them, the boxes I have for the other one, I believe they're the same capacity. These lower portions are the same capacity as the round, skinnier ones. So I'll probably just leave that one set up with the boxes it has, and let it be that way. And then pretty much that's it for what this one's going to donate. And I'll have 2 working corn planters, one 36-inch row and one set up for 30-inch rows that I can set out to 36-inch rows if I ever need to, but I don't ever plan on needing to, and I don't ever plant too much sweet corn, so this one will be just fine the way it is. But like I said, I'll take these boxes off, I'll get these springs off, and then I'll probably just fold this one up and leave the boxes in the barn. They don't need to sit outside, I guess. So everything's greased up, shouldn't rust, and this one can just sit in the fence row for now. I do plan on planting a little bit of sweet corn this year, so may use it for that. And looking at this one, it's got a different style shoe than that other one. If you notice, the other one had like a 2-piece that come back all the way. This is a single piece with this other shoe welded to it. And this has a good cutter on the front, but the cutters on the back are wore out. And it's pretty much that way for all of them. And they've even, a couple of them had weld built up on them. And then the fingers in the front, that finger's kind of wore down. These fingers are all right. But Yeah, and to while I'm here and I have to fold this one up, to fold these up, all you do is you pull, you gotta straighten that guy up, and these haven't ever been moved, or at least for a while. You pull that off, pull that pin out, pull that guy up, and then just grab it at the back here and lift it up. And I'm gonna set it back down because I can get the boxes off, but that's how you do that, and they fold all the way up. So these will actually probably fold up into that arm with the spring, but yeah, so there you got it. That's how they fold up. And then to fold the tongue up, you take the bottom 2 bolts out, flop it up, and I might swap tongues out, maybe not, but this one's got it's got a bolt on the top and the bolt's in the middle. I mean, it's easy enough to switch out on the other one. I just have to get a bolt to where the tongue won't flop down. And yeah, but this one's got the John Deere logo. They painted over all the John Deere logos on that one. And all these boxes got John Deere logos. These boxes will spin. Well, that one won't, but I've had these other ones to spin. Okay, maybe I lied. I thought I had these to spin. I'm pretty sure I had this one. Yeah, this one will spin a little bit. But they need lubed up, and like I said, I'll never use them. At least I don't plan on using them, but I can take them apart, clean them up, and just get them to where they work. So they work just because we're preserving history here. And that was pretty much my only reason with going with another 494 planter, just to preserve history. And I mean, it looks good behind that tractor. They look good behind any tractor. I like the way they look. And it's just me personally. I bought a planter because I like the way it looked. Had good, people talked good about them, and that's what I went with. And like I said, I kept, these are the pieces that go into fertilizer boxes. I kept those, and then the shoes for the fertilizer, we might, the shoes are junk, but we might take the brackets and clean them up and give them a coat of paint. And the springs are probably pretty good on them, and we can put them on that planter. So we have yellow ones, or we might just leave them on there, who knows. So anyways, let me clean up around this, get this one out, we'll get the other one in. All right, so I got this planter stripped down to the bare bones. You'll notice there's some more stuff missing. I took the shields that go, well, they're the mounts for the boxes and like shields for the tires. I took them off because the planter I have doesn't have this bracketry for that. And these shields, I believe, are in better shape. The other shields, they welded stuff to, so they got welds all over them. They just don't look very pretty. So I took these off, and I'll take the other ones off and go through them and swap them out to what I think looks better. So I don't need them for this planter. Might as well take them off and use them for the other planter. Like I said, I want the other planter to look like it did back when it was new. So I believe that's everything. I got my springs off and got those off, the boxes off. If I wanted to take the wheels off, those would be easy. Just pull the sprockets off, or I could even just take the bolts out of there and take the packer wheels off the back. So I'll get the cylinder off of it and move that lawnmower, and I'll be able to I can probably just pull this out by hand instead of trying to jockey it in with the tractor like I did last time. That other planter for some reason is a little bit heavier than this one, it felt like, so I don't know. And I might change these out. I probably will, because the ones on the other one, the bolt or the nuts are stripped out and don't fit right. This one's been bent and kind of homemade, or maybe we'll just make some new ones or something. I don't know. We'll I can take them off after the fact. So let me move that, get that cylinder off, and pull this thing outside. All right, so the old one's out, the new one's in, and I cheated. I used the jack this time. This sucker's heavy. I don't know if it's because there's no weight reduction package on the front. You know, all this is here, plus I got those in there, plus it's got these on there. I mean, it's a little bit more than my back wants to play with. So I have to go get the manual. I left the manual at home, and because I need to figure out if these are supposed to have grease zerks, or if they're supposed to have something else, or another way to grease them. The other one had grease fittings on it, and I don't know. See, this might be like an earlier model or something, because I'm not seeing grease fittings where I saw grease fittings on the other one. The other one had a grease fitting on here and a grease fitting here and a grease fitting around here. Still got grease fitting on the front, because these are like U-joints, and I don't see a way. Oh wait, nope, I'm not feeling any grease fitting on there. So this one might be different. This might be an older series and not as greasable, which if that's the case, then we might change row units over. Put those row units, change the shoes, because I don't know what all it would take to change this. I don't know what holds that guy in place there. So yeah, because I like stuff that's greasable, and this doesn't look greasable, so we will have to take a look at it and see what I can come up with. Here, I'll show you on this one. You can see there's a grease fitting there, and let me find one that's up if I can. Well, you can see here there was a spot for one. It's missing. It's like a push-in grease fitting. You can see there, and that might have them. It just might not have the grease fittings inserted. And looking at these are a completely different style top. Don't have notches in them like the other one did. So we'll have to get the book out and take a look. I like the fact that this one's greasable, and but you can see here how the grease is coming out around here and there. There was grease fittings on the front of the other one, I was pretty sure. So I'm gonna go get my book and take a look at it. Alright, so I looked at the manual, and there's grease fittings up at the front that were the same on the other one, on the front of these, and all up in there and where it lifts and everything, and those were all the same. The only difference, the manual had a spot for oiling, and it was to oil there, and there, and I think even for the wheels, but all the wheels have grease zerks on them. But then in a later part of the manual it talked about grease in these shafts, so I don't know. I gotta look at it more thoroughly and see if I can find a spot to oil, if there's oil holes or if you just shoot oil up in there. But I also got to looking and noticed that this one doesn't have the sprockets for the insecticide boxes. Well, let me double check to make sure I'm not lying to you guys. One's insecticide, one's fungicide, and I can't remember. I think the insecticide was first. Let's see. Okay. Granular herbicides on the back, insecticides on the front. So then you got to oil them chains and everything, and then right here it says apply grease for that drive shaft. You got to do that twice a year. But at another part, and here it tells you all about oil. This is for a 495A right here. Oil, there's 3 spots. Well, there's your chains, you got to oil, and the 3 for your front of the shaft, back of the shaft, it looks like, and the top there, and then your chains, and then you got to oil the little mechanism for the markers so it moves freely, which I could use some oil. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to look into it more and see what I can come up with, see if there's any oil spots on there, and decide what I want to do about the insecticide boxes, because I would like to have them on there and the gears and everything on there. So I need to decide if I want to try to take sprockets off and put on here, or just completely switch out the gauge wheels. These ones are smooth, and they were for wet sticky dirt according to that, and they didn't say anything about the lugged type, but I've only ever seen the lug type. I've never seen this style before. So yeah, I gotta look into that, and probably some other stuff I gotta look into. I need to get the trash fingers hooked up and all that, and go from there. So probably end the video for this corn planter right now, and then decide what all I'm going to do, and go from there. So anyways, catch you guys on the next one.